I won't be doing any play-by-play commentary for this game. I just decided that it was worth uploading to YouTube for all you viewers out there, but it's not very interesting to commentate on because, well, it's HB Glacier. I don't really fancy playing against HB Glacier, much less commenting on it. So this game is my Whizzard Demolition Run deck. It's not the Cyber Recursion version. I start off with a poor hand because there's no diesel, but there is special order, which would help. So it's early on in the game, and I've seen lots of knights. This is somewhat of a good sign, but I don't have any other breakers, which is bad. Besides the corrodor, of course. I don't really want to put the knights on the centrals because knights are much far better for handling remotes than centrals because paying 2 credits to get through each subroutine is a pain. So annoying. Because I have Spinal Modem installed, the Ash trace actually causes me to take 1 brain damage. This is a very bad matchup now, I realize. Anyone who runs Ash is going to severely demolish my Wizard deck. And now I'm in a horrible dilemma. Do I trash the Adonis, which only has 6 credits on it? Because if I do so, I'll need to pay clicks to get through the ice, and then pay another 3 credits to trash the Adonis. This is terrible for me. I unload my KT Jones here, preparing for my mega turn on next turn. So long as he doesn't interfere with what I'm about to do, I'm going to abuse Nerf Agent and get into his HQ. So here's my mega turn. So I install the Nerf Agent and I'm able to make exactly 2 runs on HQ. I have just enough credits to do so. The preemptive bishops that I've installed in my rig came in useful in lowering the strength of that nasty Heimdall. So now I have a Nerf Agent with 2 tokens on it. That should help me later on in the game, even though I didn't access any agendas this turn. Here I jump my bishop onto the Ichi and attempt to make a run on the remote server. But in fact, I don't actually have any intention to make the run all the way through. I'm only forcing him to spend his credits to res ice to keep him poor. Hopefully this will make him lose tempo and hence he won't be able to score that many agendas. More importantly, this gives me an excuse to jump the bishop onto the remote, because now my bishop will then be in a position to jump back onto R&D, because I plan to assault R&D with a medium in my hand. So I need the bishop to be positioned well for that to happen. Thanks to the bishop play I made earlier, I can now hop my bishop onto the toll booth on R&D. So now that I can actually break it with my York. As you will see later on, the other bishop in my rig goes onto the Eli over R&D. This saves me 1 credit in conjunction with Ice Cover. And it's very important because every credit counts at this point, because the limiting factor in me getting through servers now is not the lack of breakers, it's my economy. So having the bishops around to save me on economy is a huge factor.